So you want to start a garden. That's awesome, but maybe you don't know where to begin. Well, you're in the right place. We've taken all the expert advice out there and boiled it down into a simple, straightforward blueprint to get you growing successfully.
I mean, that's the dream, isn't it? Just stepping out your back door and grabbing something you grew yourself. Honestly, that first bite of a tomato that's still warm from the sun, or a super crisp pea pod, that's the moment you get totally hooked.
But that amazing dream can get buried under a feeling of, whoa, where do I even start? There's just so much information out there, right? It's so easy to get paralyzed by it all before you've even planted a single seed.
And that's exactly why we put this together. We've waded through all the advice, from brilliant gardeners on YouTube to university experts, to create a simple framework. This is designed to get you started on the right foot, so your first garden is something you're proud of.
So here's our game plan. We're going to talk about starting smart, not big. Then, building an amazing foundation with your soil. After that, we'll get into planting for a huge harvest, working smarter, not harder, and finally, the mindset that every single successful gardener has.
All right, let's dive right into our first step. And trust me, this is a big one, because it's where most beginners trip up. It's all about setting yourself up for a win from day one. This right here, this is the golden rule. It is so tempting to go big, to bite off more than you can chew, as the gardener Hugh Richards puts it. But a huge garden can turn from a joy into a chore, like really fast. And that's the last thing we want.
So, what does starting smart actually look like? Well, instead of digging up a giant patch of your lawn, picture a single, manageable 4x4-foot raised bed. That little space can be incredibly productive, but it's not going to overwhelm you. You can focus on a few plants you know you'll actually eat, and that success builds confidence.
Now, where you put that little garden matters a lot. You're basically looking for the Goldilocks spot. Not too shady, not too windy, just right. Most veggies need at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sun every day. You also want a spot where water drains away so it doesn't just sit in a puddle. And here's a practical tip. Put it close to your hose. Trust me, you don't want to be lugging heavy watering cans all over the yard.
Okay, let's move on to what is, without a doubt, the single most important part of your garden. It's not the seeds, it's not the fancy tools, it's the soil. Healthy soil is everything. It's the foundation for healthy plants, period.
And the solution for amazing soil is surprisingly simple. You don't need a bunch of complicated fertilizers. The best thing, the absolute best thing you can give your garden is compost. It is literally garden gold. It's packed with organic matter that feeds this whole world of microscopic life in the soil. And that life, in turn, feeds your plant.
And this leads us to a really cool scientific idea that's going to save your back and build incredible soil. It's called no-till. See, when you dig or till the soil, you're actually destroying this amazing underground city of microbes, fungi, and worms. Tilling literally rips earthworms apart and exposes all the good bacteria to the sun, which kills them. So by not digging, you just let nature do its thing.
So how do you do this? The easiest way is with something called a lasagna bed, and it is so simple. You just lay down cardboard right on top of the grass, this mothers the weeds, then you pile on a nice thick layer of compost, maybe 4 to 6 inches deep, and you top it all off with some mulch, like straw or shredded leaves. That's it. No digging. You can plant right into that beautiful compost.
All right, so we've got our spot, we've built our soil foundation. Now for the really fun part, deciding what to plant, and just as important, how to plant it so your garden is strong and gives you tons of food.
So, a super common mistake is planting big blocks of the same thing. It's called a monoculture. But think about it from a pest's point of view. A whole bed of, say, cabbage is like a giant flashing neon sign that says, all-you-can-eat buffet here. Gardener Scott tells a great story about how thousands of bugs descended on his one bed of turnips, but they completely ignored the rest of his mixed-up garden. The answer is polyculture. Just mix your plants all together. That diversity confuses the pests and makes the whole garden healthier.
So what should you plant? Well, for your first time, you want to set yourself up for success. This list here is a fantastic starting point. Stuff like lettuce, beans, and radishes grow super fast, so you get to taste your success early on. Now, for things like tomatoes and peppers, it's usually way easier to start with young plants you buy from a nursery, which brings me to my next point.
Want a shortcut? Of course you do. Buy plug plants. These are just baby plants that are ready to go right into your garden. No messing with tricky seeds. Before you plant them, give the roots a really good soak in some water until they feel heavy. And here's a pro tip from the folks at Veg. Batch your tasks. Take all the plants out of their pots first.
place them where you want them, and then plant them all in one go. It's way faster.
Let's be honest. A successful garden shouldn't feel like a second job. So let's talk about a few simple, really smart habits that will dramatically cut down on the amount of work you have to do. First up, mulch is your new best friend. Seriously, a thick layer of straw on your soil does two amazing things. It stops weeds from growing, and it keeps moisture in, so you water way less. Next, try chop and drop. When a plant is done for the season, just chop it down and leave the leaves right there on the soil to decompose. It becomes free fertilizer. For weeds, the secret is a little and often. Just pull the few you see each day. Take seconds. And finally, water deeply, but not every day. This makes your plants grow deep, strong roots.
And you know, working smart also means working safely. It sounds simple, but little habits, like washing your hands when you come inside, and of course, washing everything you harvest, that's just as important as how you care for the plants. It's all part of the same healthy cycle.
Okay, we have covered the what and the how. But this last piece of the puzzle might just be the most important. It's not about what you do, it's about how you think. Your perspective is your most powerful tool.
I really want you to hear this quote from Richards. Let me just say this right now. Things will go wrong. You are going to have failures. Pests will show up. A plant will die. This does not mean you're a bad gardener. It just means you are a gardener. Every single person who has ever had a garden has had setbacks. The trick is to see them as a chance to learn, not as a disaster.
So let's just boil it all down. These are the core scientific ideas we've been talking about. Number 1, feed the soil. That living ecosystem is your foundation. 2, embrace diversity. Mix it up to build a resilient garden. 3, conserve moisture with mulch. Think of it like a protective skin for your soil. 4, work with nature, not against it. And 5, observe and adapt. Your garden is your best teacher, so pay attention to it.
And that's really the thing to remember. You're not trying to create some perfect static picture. A garden is alive. It's a process. It's a journey of learning and experimenting and growing right alongside your plants. So just embrace that journey.
You've got the blueprint. You've got the plan. You have everything you need to start and be successful. So really, there's only one question left. What are you going to plant first?